Today, I have two visitors from France joining me for my immersive cultural experience. To prepare, I'll be paying extra attention to my hair and makeup. For a formal tea gathering, I always wear my hair in a neat updo, and I often use a ponytail hairpiece from Rockwell Welch, which I purchased at the vogueweeks.com. When wearing a kimono, it's important to keep your hair tightly styled. Loose hair can appear untidy, depending on the formality of the kimono. For semi-formal kimonos like the one I will wear today, a neat updo is essential.
You've got to get a hold of yourself.
As for my makeup, I focus particularly on my eyebrows, which I consider the frame of my face. Just like how a good frame can elevate a simple painting, well-defined eyebrows can enhance your overall appearance.
Oh, that's real good.
Whether it's for a lesson or tea gathering, I always clean the tatami mats before using the tea room. Tatami are made with a soft rush, igusa, so I use a dry towel to wipe them, as a wet towel can cause mold. Before wiping, I make sure to vacuum the mats as well. When entering the tea room, guests are expected to wear white socks. If your white socks get dirty after walking on the tatami, it's a sign the host hasn't properly prepared. As a host, it's essential to clean the room thoroughly as a gesture of respect toward the guests. When wearing semi-formal kimonos, it's important to keep the chest area smooth and tight. Kimonos are not designed for curvy figures, so I use a special brad to flatten my chest. The chest area tends to draw attention, so it's crucial to ensure there are no wrinkles or looseness. Wearing the undergarment, nagajuban, properly is also essential for a clean, polished look. Today, I'll be wearing a semi-formal kimono called tsukesage. I bought it in an auction on Yahoo Japan, and it's a beautiful, highly quality silk piece with a subtle sheen that complements the autumn season. I love how the colors of this kimono fit perfectly with the season's palette.
yourself.